Everyone, and thank you for tuning in today. Look, today's show is going to be awesome. I have a guest on here that is willing to give us some insight into what she does, how she got into it, and we may get a little in depth. So if you have any children around, you may not want to be privy to some of our information. Then I always disclose, run discretion, and have them leave the room, honey. So today we're here to meet Real. Real, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it
Uh,
so
oh,
much.
absolutely. Now, Real,
Yes.
I understand that you have a very interesting career.
Hmm.
um Career path, should I say. You've done a host of things in the adult industry, so I'm going to let you kind of tell your story. I know what you've done, based on the things that I've looked up and that type thing, but I want you to kind of let us in on a little bit of what Real has done.
Um. Well, my first introduction to the sex world was I was an erotic dancer. People like to say stripper. I was an erotic dancer, but mind you,
Hmm.
that was oh god, maybe like 20 years ago. But when
Okay.
I did that, and I think I did it for maybe like 6 to 7 years, made a lot of money.
Hmm.
From there, I also used to host swinger parties.
Right.
Seen a lot of sex there, right?
Hmm.
And talk to some very interesting people. Y'all, I don't know. A lot of people feel some type of way about swinger party, like they think it's yucky and nasty like that. No, that's I don't. That's not the vibe at all.
Hmm.
I also was a stylist on pornographic films.
Right.
Yes, I've seen a lot there. I'm also an author of erotic fiction. The title of my book is called Quickie. It's seven short erotic stories, and it's in ebook form only. So,
Okay.
yeah.
And we'll talk about that, and where, if someone is interested in getting your book, where they can get it and all that. We'll kind of go into that. Now, the reason your story interests me is because I know the particular thing that you're doing now. You've created a certain platform, right? That where you do classes and that type thing, and we'll get into that as well. But I know that you kind of tailored it, and you kind of emphasize Black women. Is there a reason, other than you being African American? Is
Yeah,
there
yeah,
is
yeah.
there another reason?
Yeah, I
Obvious.
think, yeah, I definitely target Black women because, like, it is such a taboo to talk about sex in our community. There's a lot of secrets around sexuality in our community.
Mhm.
I also feel that the media paint a picture of Black women as overly sexualized, and a lot of Black women are not. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So it's a lot of false things out there and narratives that's thrown. And I just want to clear it up. And I want us as sisters to come together to have a conversation, to share our stories and also our perspectives.
Okay, now, that being said, based on your experience, I know you wanted to be a sexologist at one point, correct?
Mm. Hmm.
Now, mention to my audience and to me, what exactly is this? I kind of know, kind of can determine what a sexologist is, but from your mouth, kind of explain what a sexologist is and
So
what
what
that person would do. I'm sorry, what that
a
person would do.
so like what a sexologist would do, like she or he would just like it's like a sex education class. Like
Okay.
they can go into schools, they can have their own classes, but their focus is just on sex, and they're just educating the public about sex, and mainly from their perspective, I guess, and from their community or whatnot. Because I
Mm.
feel that sex, when it comes to sex, I believe like in each uh uh how can I say this? Mm. For people's backgrounds, like that is different. You know what I'm saying? For me, everybody's pathway is kind of different in a way. So that's why I say I think that when people talk about it, it's like I think white sex, Caucasian sex is different from black sex. I have seen this up close and personal, and I've seen it. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, it is different.
Mhm.
You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So I think so that's a sex education.
Okay, okay. And now you indicated the reason you kind of steered away from it is because you felt it was a little discriminatory. Can you explain to me why?
Okay, so look, I did. So wait, what's the name of it? I don't remember. But anyway, where you can become a certified sexologist, and also people like to when you're doing something of this nature and you're coaching and being, and I also call myself a seductress. Like people like for you to be certified. So I'm like, okay, so let me be certified, right?
Mm-hmm.
So people can take me seriously. And so when I went to become certified, the man on the phone whom I was speaking with, now mind you, my name is my mother's given name is Myra. He kept calling me Mildred and Maya. So I was just like, yo, and we don't went over this like 3 times. Like, why? I'm telling you, my name is Myra. Like it's 2 syllables. Where you at? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I felt some kind of a way, and I was just like, you know what? No, I'm not even gonna deal with this because he made me feel as if they didn't want me there. You
Did
understand
you
what I'm
see a
saying?
lot of that in the, I do understand what you feel. Did you feel that working in the industry as well, or just your experience with that particular man kind of gave you that vibe?
Well, becoming we're trying to be certified. Well, yeah, with that, and also like within the sex, like as an exotic dancer. Now working at certain clubs, definitely,
Okay.
definitely. Now my primarily I worked with like with the audience were black men, or also or Hispanic, but most mainly black men. Now I would do some white clubs. Now the thing there as a black woman. Now look, I'm not a black woman who look like or have a body type like a white woman. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm
Mm-hmm.
not thin. I don't have big titties, and my ass ain't flat. I'm just like some of them, or they just, like small like that. I'm not small. I'm more
Mm-hmm.
curvier, right,
Mm-hmm.
and thicker. So when I would go, and mind you, I'm a hell of a dancer. I do know that. That's something God blessed me with, and I'll be dancing and stuff like that. And they wouldn't give me no money. Like I would get nothing, like nothing.
Even in the black clubs, or just
No,
if
not the
you were
black.
in,
This is the white clubs.
oh, the white clubs. Oh,
And
okay.
let me tell you this one thing. You just brought me back, girl. Whoa. I remember it was this was downtown in Manhattan, and I went to this club, and it was a primarily white club. But see, at the time, as an exotic dancer, I don't know if they still do it now, because I hear that they have to pay in order to be in the clubs.
Mm-hmm.
I had an agent, so I got paid by my agent as well as
Mm-hmm.
got paid for my tip. So now, like it's a different situation. So my agent sent me to this place. Go there. It's like all white people and all, and I'm the only black girl there. And why the little Caucasian man came to me like he like little short, like he got probably got like he little in between his legs and all this little shit. And he was like,
Okay.
um just like, would you have sex with me? No. You know what I'm saying? Then
Mm-hmm.
he said, well, okay, well, then your time is up. I said, yeah, as long as you give me my money. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that was that. So, but yeah, girl, yeah,
So,
it
do you
definitely was.
think the expectations are different from for black strippers compared to white strippers or exotic dancers or whatever?
Now that I don't know, I think that I'm sure that now I'm not a Caucasian woman, so I don't know, but
I
I'm
mean,
sure
I'm
that
saying from your experience and being
right.
around it. Do you think they can do less, of course, and then they can make more?
Oh well,
Basically,
yeah,
just
yeah.
keeping
Because
it
I
simple.
was definitely witness to that because I was there
Right.
on stage and I'm like, giving all my sexiness that I was giving, and they do and they giving what they giving, and they was giving them money. So of course, like it's a racial thing, you know what
Right.
I'm saying? And then to make me feel like, nah, boo,
Inferior.
I'm not
Yeah.
giving you no money. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
that definitely did happen. Yes.
Right. Now, just to kind of go back a little bit, I know you stated at one point when you wanted to get in, you were into the sex industry and you were doing what you were doing. That's why you kind of came up with the idea of kind of expanding it and starting your classes that you do. Do you made a statement that you feel like African American women are more sexualized? Did I hear that correctly?
No, no,
Than
I said that
compared to
the
the other
media.
way?
No, I said that the media says that black women are overly sexualized.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Okay.
Right. Mhm.
All right, so you felt that way. See, I always felt it may have been the opposite. That because in our culture and things like that, that like you said, we don't talk about sex. It's kind of like hush. We do things that's behind closed doors, whereas other races may be a little more, you know, out with it. So I kind of felt it was always different, but of course my experience is different than yours. So I don't know. That was just new information because I thought that you would have came with a different answer there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I kind of always felt that we were kind of like, there are things you better not do, things you're not gonna do, and I just kind of always felt that that's just kind of how we were kind of brought up and raised. So we did not put it out there on the forefront, whereas other races may be a little more open with doing
Right,
different
right,
things and trying different things. So
right,
that's why I kind of felt like it may have been a little different answer with that, but
oh, okay.
guess
But
not.
yeah, but see, but also like I said, I didn't say that that came from me. I said that the media says that black women are overly sexualized. You know what I'm saying? And I
Mm-hmm.
know that that's not the case in
Right.
a lot of cases. Now, like
Mm-hmm.
I do agree with you about that. Like we are like more hush hush. We don't talk about it.
Inhibited. Yeah.
Right, and another thing too that really got me started because number one topic that a lot of people talk about is
Mm-hmm.
definitely they talk about sex. So I was having a lot of conversations, and I hang around a lot of guys, and women would also tell me how you know the sex that they would be receiving was just not up to par, like at all, and they just accepting it and don't know how to explain to their partner what they want, and in some cases, some women don't know what they want and don't know how to go about that.
Well, that was one thing I was going to talk to you about. Did you, I know being in the industry, in the club, and I keep going back to the club because I know that was probably a place where you met a whole lot of different men of different races and different things. So, in your experience, when you meet different guys, are a lot of them there because they're not happy at home, or do you kind of feel a consensus like they're missing something, so they go to these places to kind of get an outlet? Or why do you think that a lot of men kind of they are attracted to those places when they may be in a relationship?
Oh,
We're
I
gonna keep
think
it like we're gonna keep it classy now, but I
yeah,
do want
right.
you to tell me.
Girl, right? I was about to
Yeah,
go like, wait a
I'm
minute.
a real you. I seen the
Right,
expression. I'm like, let me, yeah. Tell me in a cute way.
right. Okay, right. Like PG, as much as PG
Not
as I
necessarily
possibly.
PG,
I
but you
think
know.
that okay, well, I think that men go to places like that. See, this is the thing that women need to understand. Like men are different. Men have penises, and men penis when they want to have like sex with somebody or just see somebody to get them off. You know what I'm saying? They would visit those type of places just for that. And it's another thing, ladies, that y'all need to understand. Like, please put this in your head. Sex and love have two of them that have nothing to do with one another. It's in a lot of cases. You understand what I'm saying? So I believe that man goes there just, for the fantasy of it. And they
Mm-hmm.
also, ladies, I know a lot of y'all don't want to hear this shit, but a lot of them go there and when they go back home, because they
Mm-hmm.
at a strip club, and depending on what type of strip club you can be in,
Mm-hmm.
like now some of them do have VIP rooms where you can get it in. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And you can
Mm-hmm.
bust
Mm-hmm.
off. But
Right.
um for the most part, not. So you just go there for the fantasy, and you just she may give you a lap dance or something like that. Which is, let me tell you something from my experience. Oh my god, that was so disgusting. Ugh. But that's how a lot of strippers used to make their money. I don't know if they still doing
Mm-hmm.
that now.
But they can't
But
touch the strippers, right? When they're
girl,
doing that, can they? Are they supposed to? I've heard different. I heard that they weren't supposed
okay.
to
So
touch.
look, so mind you, I did this like 10 years, like 10 to 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
We used to actually sit, like, sit on their lap and, and grind, that type of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now as far as you letting them touch you, like, I mean, that's up to the girl. More than likely she'll be like no, and they satisfied with that, because what the focus is his penis. So you know what
Right.
I'm saying. So you just sitting
Right.
there doing that. But let me tell you something that was disgusting. Now listen, I would have freaked out on this dude. One of my close friends who I used to dance with, she
Mm-hmm.
was giving a guy a lap dance, and while he blast off on her,
Oh, really?
she could have catch an STD. She could have got pregnant. Like, you got like we on a G string. Do y'all know the difference between a G string and and
Yeah.
what is a thong? A G string is just like a piece of thread. Like, it's just a
Mm-hmm.
thicker piece of thread. That's all we was wearing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
I
that
know exactly what it is.
ooh. No, but
So
yeah, but I
this is
believe okay.
this
Go
this,
ahead, I'm
this
sorry.
is my thing. Look, so this is my thing. In your opinion, being that you've been around certain things, what is your idea when you have your classes and you talk to different women, and being that you've experienced different men, not necessarily sexually, but just being exposed to different men? What do you tell a woman when they say, maybe I don't feel sexy, or they have that sexy in them, but they don't know how to really bring it out? What do you say?
Yes, yeah, please come to my class. Please come to my workshop. But you see, my thing is definitely to bring like confidence to my sisters. I want them to have that because look, on some real shit, like people don't realize how much media plays a part into a person's subconscious, right? And the
Mhm.
majority of the people that you see, like when you turn on TV, like I'm a TV watcher too, and I love
Mhm.
movies and stuff like that. The majority of the people that you see, they're Caucasian. You know what I'm saying? And they look
Mhm.
like this, and you don't look like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
We are, or whatever the case. So our sexiness and our beauty isn't at the forefront. So I want to tell Black women, this is what I would tell them, like just know that you're sexy. You have to
Mhm.
feel that this comes from within. That's
Mhm.
first and foremost. And
Mhm.
also beauty is a two-part thing. I think it's internal first and then external. You know what I'm saying? So you
Mhm.
have to
I
feel that,
agree.
like you have to feel that and know that like within yourself. Now, what I would suggest to a woman is to say some affirmations to yourself. I say affirmations to myself every day before I get up out the bed. You know, you say you're beautiful, I'm worthy, I'm, just whatever that you can create for yourself to build up your confidence. Don't, if you're gonna always have naysayers and people who say nasty things, and if you're dealing with a man who don't tell you that you're beautiful and that that you're pretty and stuff like that, because a lot of men do fail when they're in a relationship, fail to tell women that. Well, I don't know about other women, but Black women that. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Because
Mhm.
but they'll be quick to be like, if they watching TV, oh, she bad or something like that. Okay, you can tell, you can say this to this bitch on the on the screen. You know what I'm saying? You can say
Mhm.
that say it out loud, but you want, and I'm your girl and I'm sitting right next to you and you don't even tell me that. That's a
Mhm.
problem.
Right.
So, and also women, like you have to coach your man and you have to be able to have these types of conversations. It's important that you do that. Like, look, I'm here, I'm with you, I love you. And also women, it's not just him. You also have to play your part too. You need to
Mhm.
tell him that he's sexy and get him revved up for the day and let his confidence be as high as possible. But we focus on the women. So I have ADHD. My mind go like right like
I
that.
mean, it's just that you probably feel passionate about what you're talking about.
She's
So
so sweet. I love her. Thank you.
you're passionate, girl. You're passionate. So
Thank
you
you.
so it just kind of comes out in your conversation. So I get it. I get it.
But
But now my thing is that for a lot of women, like myself in particular, I've been married almost 30 years.
oh
Almost
wow,
30 years.
congratulations.
Thank you,
Nice.
hon. So I think a lot of times when you are married for an extended period of time, you have to find a way to still love that person day in and day out. A lot of people, like you have, I think I read something somewhere where you stated some people get married and they think you're just going to live happily ever after, but that's not the case, or something to that effect. You said, why do you say that?
Okay,
Have
so
you had the experience of being married?
no, actually I've been asked to be married 4 times. I told everybody no. But listen,
And then why? And now let's, before we answer the
okay.
question, why
Oh, wait. Okay, wait, hold
why would you
on.
not want? Oh yeah, okay.
No, no, no. Okay, so look. So I think I've been asked to be married in every decade. Let me press it. But listen, when I was a teenager, I knew like, nah, I'm too young. Like, no, I'm not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Then when I was in my 20s, now this dude, I was just like, no, I'm not. Like, I was just like, I never felt that I was ready. And another thing too, I hadn't had great sex yet. And I knew in my soul, in my core, because mind you, I have always been sexually confident, like within myself,
Mm-hmm.
but I knew that I wasn't experiencing sex for what all of the beauty and the glory and the passion that I knew came with it. Now, mind you, I just knew this, right? And because and sex was a very big part and to why I said no. And also I just felt like I hadn't experienced life as of yet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Well, that's
and
fair.
right and I didn't think I was ready to be, yeah, I mean, well, that sums it
You just
up.
didn't want to be committed.
Right at that time. They, you know what I'm saying, to experience life, and I just wasn't ready. And those guys that who asked me, I was not getting great sex for them. And I hadn't even experienced great sex, but I knew great sex was out there. Because mind you, when I was young, I used to watch porn and shit like that. Do y'all watch porn?
Mm. The who watches porn?
Like,
Why
do
are you
you?
trying to put me all the way out there on?
Okay, I'm sorry. But at a young age, I used to watch it. I did.
I think to each his own, you know what I mean? I don't
Right.
think there's anything wrong with it if that's your thing,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think a lot of people are they kind of like they don't get into certain things because they feel like it's just like when people are in relationships and you have people that want to have threesomes. I personally think if you are married, you shouldn't have threesomes. But then you have other couples that feel like having threesomes is good. It kind of keeps spice in the relationship and stuff like that. Me myself, if you're married to someone, I feel like you need to go all out to make sure you please and satisfy your mate yourself to make sure that
Mm.
they're happy and they're taken care of. And I do think it's possible to do it with just one man and one woman. You don't have to bring other men and other women into your relationship because I personally think it's very difficult to work on a relationship when there's three people involved. Because a lot of times when you go into those, this is just me living, you know what I'm saying? And
Okay,
this is
go
a
ahead.
part of it.
Go
You
ahead.
know, I think when there's three people in a relationship, you, your husband, and a third person, then it's very difficult to love people equally because people do different things when it comes to sex. And most times in any relationships, the core of it, you got to have good sex in any relationship. If you don't, I don't care what nobody say. You could be in a church, you can be not in a church, whatever. That is the core of any relationship and communication. You
And
have to
money.
be able, huh?
I said, and money for me.
Well, yeah, you got to
Yeah.
have some
Right.
money. Got to do that. And but you can kind of get through certain things if money is tight and different things like that if you love that person. But I think when it compromises the relationship when you bring a third person in. Now these days, a lot of people are into this open relationship kind of thing.
I'm listening.
I am not one for that kind of foolishness because
Okay.
it ain't no that's just me now. But for people who into it, that's cool. I just feel like it compromises the relationship because we all go into it saying this my wife, this my husband, the other person is our plaything, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if that plaything end up doing stuff a little different than
Mm.
your wife, then your
Mm-hmm.
feelings is natural. Your feelings are going to start wanting those things that the other person is giving that wife is not giving, and then that's when you kind of start running into a problem. So I think when it's a relationship and it's you and your mate,
Mm-hmm.
then if you are having a problem, you should try to go above and beyond to satisfy your mate. And you shouldn't bring because I feel, in my opinion, there's nothing a woman can do coming into my relationship that I can't do. She got the
Okay.
same things that I have. I
Yeah.
don't care now if you're an exotic dancer. Now I don't know how to flip on no pole and do all that stuff, but I would learn if I had to, honey. you
Right,
know.
right.
But I just don't believe in open relationships. It's not that I don't believe in it; it's just not for me. So what do you
Okay.
think about
Oh. I don't know. Just for me, like understanding like men. Now, I'm not putting all men in the same category, so
that?
please don't
Right?
get
Because
on my
they're
back about
different.
that. Because every man does not.
They're different.
It's not that way. But there
Mm-hmm.
is like this meaning, like when it comes to sex, they just they want to have sex with whomever they just want to bust off. That's why a lot of men go to swinger clubs, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's no commitment. They just want to come. They just want to bust off, have sex, and keep it moving.
Mm-hmm.
Now as far as like with threesome, and mind you, I've been in a club. Now this is one story I just want. It's real quick that I seen men like actually. Yo, I swear it was like 7 of them. Now, mind you, people at the swing club, they're not walking around naked. You get naked when you're about to have sex. The men normally have on a towel, wrapped around their waist, and the women really they can have on a towel, or more than likely they have on just lingerie.
Mm-hmm.
So they all stand in the line, and there was this one woman who was bent over, waiting
Mm-hmm.
to get at her. I mean, in a line, like they like at the store. I was just like, yo, what the hell is
But don't you
going
think
on
some women just have men they just have high sex drives? Because they can have sex and not even be committed.
I don't even think that it has anything to do
No
with high
attachment
sex
to the
drives.
person.
I just think that they just like to have like I believe that we all as sexual beings, man and female, I think women just suppress their sexual urges. That's what I think that they do. Like
You think?
seriously. I do. Like, they just be like, no. Another quick story, because I know I definitely want to get back to that threesome thing. Now, this
Mhm.
at the Swift, this lady comes in. She comes in with her boyfriend. She's a big girl. She got real big titties. You know what I'm saying? A big old booty, like just she just that down. but she was so timid and nervous and stuff like that. And her and her man had came there, and they done had their conversation, whatever, and he going on. So I'm the host, so I'm, my job is to make people feel calm and cool and collective and have a great time. So I was telling her about how all these things work and whatnot, and what this room is for, and blah blah blah. But she was really timid. I said, "Let me go get you a drink." And so yeah, just so you can calm down, just so you can be a little ease. So when I came back, while this girl she done laid down. She got 3 men on her. Yo, I swear I ain't never been jealous of nobody
Well,
in my
that right.
life.
But do you honestly think that probably was her first time having that experience, or that's the first
Now
time
that
her
I
having
don't
that
know.
experience? I'm saying,
Now
or that was her
that
first time having the experience there.
yeah,
But you just don't leave and get a drink and come back, and people just
no. But listen, look, I don't know.
it's
I
something else
didn't.
going. Listen, some of that story we not privy to.
Yeah, I know. Like, I don't know all the backstory, but I just know what I seen and witnessed. Is when I came back,
Right.
she's laying down. She got one. Can I just like? Oh my God! I can just imagine how great and wonderful this was. She had one dude on one titty, another dude on this titty, and another dude like
Okay.
giving her oral down there.
Okay.
And all you heard was the sounds
Okay.
of pleasure throughout the whole. I was just like, oh man. Now mind you, I'm a type of person like I look at sex in this very intimate for me. Like I can't share my body with people like that. And of course, a
Right.
lot of guys used to be like while
Right.
I was working there, yo, let's do this, let's do it. And I'll be like, no. But anyway, but back to the
Right.
threesomes. I think for me, I would welcome them into my relationship.
You
Now,
would.
I
Okay.
think that I think everybody have like a threshold. So my threshold it's like 5 years now. We done been together. We having great sex. We doing all this all great stuff. Now, I wouldn't mind like, we can do some other things. You know what I'm saying? See, the thing is, it's also mental, ladies. You have to get your mind right. That's first and foremost, right? You can get jealous because, of course, if it's a new chick, he gonna be all over her. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't know if you and the chick, then you probably would be all over too. I don't know. Now, me, no,
Right.
I don't.
Right.
I don't want to
No, I
partake
don't do
in.
that.
I don't
Yeah.
want to partake in a woman. Uh,
No.
with a woman, I'm not into that. So what I
Mm-mm.
would do, I would sit back and fall back and just watch him. But that's just me.
And
Now I
a
do.
lot of that probably because of your experience too.
No, because
You've
I've never.
always felt
You
that
know
way?
what? And you know what? I've never had a threesome yet, and I do
Really?
plan on before
You
I
just kind of
die. And I
fantasize
want to do it
about
with.
it.
No, it's gonna come to reality. Um,
I'm
and
sure
I
it
want.
is.
Yeah, right. And it's gonna be with 2 men. I don't. Ain't gonna be no women. And
Okay.
I want when I do it though. See, a lot of women they be like, "What is you talking about?" I want to do it with my husband. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Girl,
hopefully.
no.
But then again, I know. But then again, a lot of men probably ain't gonna be up to that. Like, nah, you ain't even doing that. You know, because I have had relationships where we had talked about this, been in a
Mm-hmm.
relationship with a guy, and we was thinking about doing it, and I was just like, okay, he want to invite. So I said, no, I'm gonna sit back and let you do what you do. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I said, but after that, yo, maybe me, you, and somebody else, another dude, you know what I'm saying? Or you could just know that me and somebody else is doing something. He was like, nah.
Well, I was gonna say that. Most men, African American men, they don't like that.
Yeah,
They
they
will be
whack.
okay. They'll be okay with the woman thing, but they don't want another man thing.
Because
That's
they're
just,
emotional babies.
yeah,
That's what
they
they
don't
are.
they don't vibe off of that too well. I just don't think so. But like I said again, it's just not for me. But whoever it's for, I hope they're enjoying it and having a good time while they do. I
Yeah.
just personally, because I'm very open minded when it comes to people and what a person does with their body and their life, as long as you are authorizing it and nobody's taking advantage of you. That's
Oh,
first and
yes.
foremost.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
key. That's
Always
key.
consensual.
Do
Always.
you now let me ask you this. Do you think like for women who are um dating, married or whatnot, I've always kind of wanted to know like, do you think a person needs an alter ego? Like say, for instance, if a woman has different desires and they want to get into certain things, do you think it's good for them to kind of develop an alter ego and then become that person? Do they have to become that person in order to come out of their shell? Or can you just be Carol and I'm just gonna do what I do? Or do you think it's a better approach to doing it the other way?
Yeah, you know what? See, I'm so glad you said that, and that is a very good question. And yes, you definitely have to have like an alter ego, and it's also,
Mhm.
acting, which is what is one third of seductive art is visual stimulation. And I also not only teach you like the clothes that you have to be able to play that part. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to become like a method actor. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
really grasp this character. When you first do it, like it'll be silly, and you know what I'm saying? Because you know what I'm saying, and
Mhm.
people start
Mhm. Mhm.
laughing and all that other stuff. But no, like really, if you're gonna be domineering, bitch, you about to be domineering. Like you're gonna let
Right.
him know like this is what, and like really like grabs this character and really take it on like mentally. Not only you, so when you physically that like the old saying is, and it's so true, when you look good you feel good, and when you look a
That's
certain way
true.
you feel a certain way. So if you
Mhm.
have taken on a domineering or a submissive role, like you really have to get into that character and play that out. Like yes, you do have to
And see,
develop a
and I think that that's
ego.
key. Yeah, and I
Yes.
think that's important. I just kind of want that's why I wanted to ask you that. And I didn't want anyone on the show that was going to give me no textbook stuff because I have people want to come on the show all the time, psychologists, psychologists. I didn't want that. I wanted someone that was real down to earth and it was going to just tell it like it is. And
Right.
that's kind of like what I want on my show. You know, a little PG version of.
Yeah, right.
But
Yeah, I
gotta
am
keep it
X-rated. You know
Gotta
what I'm
keep it.
saying?
We
It's
gotta
like
keep it pretty. Gotta keep it
real
a little
X-rated.
pretty. Yeah, we got. I know. I had to. Yeah, I had to kind of reel you in a little bit, but because we want to make sure everybody gets the
Right.
But
Okay.
my biggest thing, I do think it's important when people are married. Because I'm actually going to start doing little talks on Instagram where you just kind of go live, and in Facebook where I kind of talk to women that are in relationships or married or want to get in relationships, because I have really connected some really long relationships where people have been married like a long time. And I'm a
Mm.
pretty good judge of character. But I really think when it comes to a relationship, you have to keep it fun.
Oh yeah.
You
Oh
can't
yeah.
get stiff. If your husband or significant other wants to bring somebody into the relationship and you're not with that, then you might want to become that person for them. If you
Mm.
can, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? If you can, because sometimes people just want variety. They just want to do something, see something different. I ain't going for it, but I might become somebody else, but you ain't bringing nobody else in it. But I do think that you kind of have to be able to give your all into a relationship, and that's like doing things different all the time. That's the
Yeah, yeah.
only way you could make 30, 40, 50 years because
But this is another thing too that I want to tell you. And I know a lot of women don't want to hear this shit either, but it's a fact. Um, yo, and now I'm not saying all men don't be back. But a lot of men have other bitches. I mean, female, they do, and
they
I
do.
find that men who have the longest money be kind of the worst. Now, let me just give you all a quick
That's
example.
true.
And this is a man who I used to. Yo, me and him used to deal with each other. You know the one thing I loved about this dude, like he was just so fire because he was honest with me. He was like, "Look, he said I got a girl I'm about to marry, a girlfriend," and he said, "And you about to be my other one." And I was like, "Excuse me?" His paper long though, but not
Mm-hmm.
only that, like, but he knew how to treat me like a lady. That's
Mm-hmm.
first and foremost, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I
Mm-hmm.
was just like, "How dare you?" But anyway, so he took me out and took me to a fabulous. That's always took me fabulous. Always had me gifts all the time, right? So
Mm-hmm.
when he got married, I respect like he me him. I didn't contact him. He didn't contact me. However, I did go to his wedding though, and his
Mm.
wife when they came in from the reception. You know how when they come in from this is real shit. When they came in from the church and at the reception, yo, why her eyes swung dead to me. I was just like, oh wow, okay. But anyway, I gave her a hug and all that shit. But I never seen him, right? So we in New York. Years and went past. I just recently saw him. Yo, real, let's go out. Let's talk. Okay, boom. All right. So we go out, we having a good time. So he was like, so yo, when I'm gonna see you? I said, you seeing me now? What you talking about? He was like, no, I want to see you. And I was just like, no, we not doing that. And mind, we was talking about doing some business because y'all know I'm in the business. You know, I'm a designer, I'm a intimacy coach and all this old shit. So I'm always trying to get funding because the bitch needs some funding. So we talking about that. So he was like, yo, so when I'm gonna see you, I was just like, well, we gonna meet up wherever. What restaurant you picking? Where we going? What we doing?
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, no, I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm saying that is like for real. Like a lot of them always have somebody freaking else or something.
But do you think most women feel? But this is my thing. This is
I
my
think they
thing.
know.
When
You know
you,
when your
I was
man
gonna
fucking
say, do
around.
you? You should know. But this is my thing. Whatever. Hey, this is the way I do it. Whatever you do, you better keep it quiet.
Yeah.
Unless
Or
y'all like, you better keep it quiet because if you like, unless you like Burger King, because I'm not playing. That ain't
right.
how I work. But this is my thing. I do that agree that a lot of times men have people, women on the outside, and sometimes women too. These times have changed.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
just me
Yeah.
because women making their money long too. But I think for a
Right.
woman to be a side piece or whatever you want, however you want to categorize or whatever,
Mhm.
a man is not. When you're young, it's okay. You doing your thing. But I think as you get older, you kind of see things different. You should, and not all women. Some people enjoy being single, but
Mhm.
you should want something a little more definite in your life, a little different direction. That's just my opinion, and I'm sticking with it because being a side or whatever, kicking it or whatever is cool when you're young. But as you get older, you should want different things your own. Because most times, in my opinion, men are not leaving their wives. Every blue moon, the side girl gonna slide up in there, and he might, crack it, and he might make a different move. But most of the time, you're gonna just stay in that position. So unless that's okay with you, and some people it is, as a woman, for me, I want more. And I think two things don't change with that type of mentality until, as women, we change our thought process because I feel like we deserve more. You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I don't want to be your side. I want to be the main. You know what I
Okay.
mean? I ain't going home to no apartment and y'all going to the crib, the real crib. I want a house. Now, unless you in Africa, from Africa, and that's your religion where you can have multiple women as long as you can take care of them, and
Mhm.
that's just how you do it. That's just their culture. I'm in America. I ain't going to no apartment, and I ain't driving no Honda, and she driving a Maybach. No, we gonna be doing it equally. And if you can't do it, then no. So my thing is, I feel like after you reach a certain age, those things need to be changed up a little bit.
You know,
What you think?
I have been like a side chick, and I don't have no problem being a side chick, and I'm a good ass side chick because let me tell
Mm-hmm.
you, I'm just like
I
I ain't
mean,
trying to.
that's cool. That's
I'm not trying to disturb your relationship and nothing like that,
mm-hmm.
and all the time your man coming to me. So I'm just
Mm-hmm.
saying. So
Mm-hmm.
first of all, I don't have a problem if I know you got a girl. Okay, cool. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to compare myself to her or anything. Maybe I just want the dick to sit. You know what I'm saying? Maybe
Oh,
that's what
real.
that's. I'm sorry, man. I just want the sex from him. You know what I'm saying? And that's
Girl, you
it.
gonna get me edited on
I'm sorry.
YouTube. They
I'm
gonna
sorry.
freeze
I'm
whole
sorry.
show.
Um, just, I just want the sex from him. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't
Right.
necessarily need anything from you or whatever. If you giving, that's great. You know what I'm saying? Most men
But
already
deep
know what
down,
to
women
give.
say that, but I don't think to the core women feel that way.
No,
Some of them,
I'm saying that, and I fucking so, yo, you know I'm a cursor. Sorry,
yes,
Facebook,
real girl.
whatever that.
I'm gonna throw
Uh,
some holy water through the screen, girl.
but yeah, but I don't have a problem with it, especially if like if it's just that, and I have and I know what it is, and I know you got somebody and that's your thing, then
Right.
and then you do what we do, we have fun. I don't have no problem with it.
And see, that's my thing. If you're consenting adults and it works for you, then who
Yeah,
am I anyone to say it's wrong? I'm just saying, like, from
for
my
you,
perspective,
right,
for
right.
me, when you're young, you do what you do, what you do. But when you get older, I feel like, I feel like, things need to switch up. You know what I mean? Because I don't want seconds. I want to be like the main
Good.
course. I don't want to be around here talking about you come and just, you know, I
But
don't want
listen,
to
you
say
know
what
what?
I'm really,
But then
really
again,
thinking,
okay,
but
but peep this though. It be a lot of women that be in relationships where, you know, they're married and stuff like that, and I don't, and he probably done checked out. You know what I'm saying? Because he
he
done
did.
got
He did.
somebody else. Yeah, his body with you,
That's
but his
true.
mind somewhere else. You know what I'm
But
saying?
then that's
Yeah,
that
that's it.
woman. But that's
That's
that woman, that wife or that girl in that relationship who allowing that. That's her. That's where the confidence comes from. That internal confidence you were speaking about.
uh-huh.
That's where it comes from. That there's something lacking. Because if you're in a relationship with someone and he done checked out, are you really happy? Are you happy with someone just coming home being like, "What's up?" and
Right,
going on
right,
about his business?
right,
You got your homegirls got somebody they chilling with and going and doing, they traveling and doing, you sitting home by yourself every night because you know he with his other girl.
right,
Are
right.
you really happy? So then you, as that woman who in that relationship, that man is checked out on, it's time for you to do something different unless you're cool with it. And I don't know now one woman who really happy with just being in a relationship physically. Because you got to be in it emotionally as well.
Yeah, that is true. But then sometimes, people can be in a relationship for a host of freaking reasons.
Financial, yeah.
Maybe they financially well
Yeah.
together or whatnot, or maybe they just, like women do have, like, I think we've been uh brainwashed into thinking, like, every woman is supposed to be married, and you have to pick your
No.
fence and all this other stuff.
Right.
I'm just saying, because this is what this has been taught
Yeah.
to us or whatnot.
Back in the day,
And,
yeah.
and I'm saying, if there's anything wrong with that, I applaud people who are in relationships and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that, quicker and faster, like within life, as a
Right.
couple, as a unit. But like I said, like there do be men, and also there be women who also be cheating too. You know what I'm saying?
No, I
We
mean
can't
that's the
forget
way
about
it
that.
roll
But
nowadays.
yes,
Yeah.
but listen. The one thing, that if somebody is cheating on you, honey, it has absolutely nothing to do with you. Nothing. Whether it's the man
No,
or the woman, it has nothing to do with the other person.
it
It
does
has something to do
not.
with him and her,
Or
or her
her.
and him. They have
Mm-hmm. Or the
they
both
done
of you. The
connected.
relationship is just at a point where it's not flourishing anymore.
Well,
I
that don't
mean,
necessarily mean that
if you
either.
both are in a
It could just be a
relationship and it's
sexual
checked out.
thing.
No, I'm saying if you're in a relationship with someone and he just in it and you just in it just because it's like it feels good because y'all done did it so long, so nobody don't want to break up. You got to find a way to break it up because
Yeah,
and move on, because what the deal is, life is short. You understand what
it
I'm saying?
is.
I don't want to just be tired of being sick and tired. We gotta find a way to make this work for real, because if you coming home and I'm not happy and you not happy, we just done did this for so long and we just doing it, it's time to make a change. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? You got to decide, how can I exist without this person? You know, if it's financial, then you got to find a way to come up out of it. You know what I'm saying? You got to talk about it, communicate, because
yeah,
it doesn't make sense to be unhappy. That's all I'm saying. Now,
yeah.
especially in a relationship where there's children and stuff like that, because children know. You think, I know a lot of people, like, they were married for like a long time and you think they cool and they getting along. Child, time as they children reach 18, they out of there. You be like, huh? I thought y'all was good. And it's over. Because like you
Yeah.
said, they had mentally checked out.
And some people,
So
like, and then also, yeah, like, some things just run its course, and you have, like, when it's over with and whatnot. Let me tell you a story about
absolutely.
somebody who was married for a really long time. These are true stories. They have been married for, like, I don't know, 50, 60 something years. And why the husband was messing with the lady down the block, around the corner or something, the wife done caught him. He done parked his car, like, across the street from her house. And he was, like, I guess he was a construction worker, and went and took his tools out of his car. And so when he gets home, she's sitting there with the tools, like, what's that? And of course he done told her some crazy story. But yeah, like, I don't know.
I mean,
You have to value your relationship. If you value it, and also, like, people have these things where you can just be attracted to somebody, and something can pop off or whatnot. But if you value your relationship and you want that to work, both of you, it can't just be one person. It has to be both of you.
both of you.
And then you put in the work and you make it happen. You know what I'm saying?
However it happens,
Right,
because
exactly.
whether it's just the two of you, it's you plus somebody coming in, you doing the polygamy thing, you do, however, whatever works for those two people. The dynamics in everybody's relationship is different, because what
Right.
works for me don't work for the next person. The
That's
only
right.
thing I say is, if you in a relationship and you're not happy, only one person is happy, it's time to make some changes, because life is
Yeah.
short. That's just my only thing. Now, let me ask you this:
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to your classes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just break it down real quick for me. This day one, I'm coming to you and hey, look, Real. I heard about you. I
Okay.
heard about what you do.
All
You
right.
know what I'm saying? I want to get a little bit of that sexy thing going on. I need some, but I'm shy. I'm kind of, how can you help me? And what is your first step? Because you do different things in your classes, right?
Yeah, yeah. With the
Different techniques.
workshop, it's they consist of, like, three things. There's
Right.
visual symbolization. We have real sex talk, and I teach ESS, was an erotic, sensual, and sensual and seductive dance. So
Okay,
first,
now.
if somebody's really really shy, like I
Uh-huh.
build up their confidence. Now that's gonna take some time. Like that's not like a
Don't
one
just
off
bam.
thing. Especially if
Right.
somebody's really really shy or
Mhm.
reserved, and then also we cannot forget about this too. Like I know a lot of people don't want to talk about that. A lot of women have experienced being sexually assaulted,
Right.
raped, molested as a child.
And
So
that impacts their
that's
relationship,
another
right?
thing, another layer. You
But
say
that
it again?
impacts their current relationship, right? Or do you
For
see that?
for some, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. It was this one young lady, Tasha K, interviewed her. That's how I found out about her. Her name was Quishay Davis.
Mhm.
She reminded me of Megan Thee Stallion. That's just how
Mhm.
bad this bitch is,
Mhm.
girl is. And
Mhm.
she is a fitness person. She met somebody. Yo, I'm gonna send you. We're trying to do business together. I'm gonna send you. You gonna come to Miami? Boom, boom, boom. She wakes up, girl. A a human sexual traffic. Can you imagine? He
Mhm.
gave her a drink, and when she
Mhm.
woke up, she butt naked, and now she in this situation with
Mhm.
other like girl, like, and she said even young girls. But me and her had, so she came to my she was one of my honorary guests at my last seductive art workshop, and she really got into depth about like her whole situation
Mhm.
about her when it comes to sex and how men have viewed her as like a young, she's always been had like a nice curvy shape.
Mhm.
So she said that for her, that she has to be, in order for her to have sex, she said sex isn't like a thing that she thinks about anymore. She needs to be drunk in order to have sex.
Mm.
So it took a lot away from her. So what I suggested to her is, therapy, because everybody needs therapy. The thing is,
Mhm.
like with therapy though, all the people talking about all this therapy thing, and I think that is important. You need to find somebody that you really connect with. Because
Exactly.
I had a therapist too now, but not for no sexual thing. Just because like I have I have claustrophobia, and it's like real bad, girl. It's crazy. I don't get no elevator. If it's 16 floors, I'm walking up 15 steps. But anyway, me and my therapist was really really good, and she was just so happened to be Caucasian. And we used to talk about everything. But then when we started talking about race, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? That's when she started acting fine. I was like, oh,
Mhm.
okay. So, but anyway, I would just find for her, I said that to find, I'm saying for everybody
Mhm.
who needs a therapist, to
Mhm.
find somebody that you connect with, like that you feel comfortable with, that you can really have conversation, you can let loose and just say what you need to say and project that out into the world. Because actually, therapists, girl, on some real shit. I remember when I first went to therapist, all they do, they sit. I mean, she did just like this. And I was just like, is she gonna say something? You know what I'm saying? So it's just on you. You just have to find
Right.
somebody who you can talk to. It's just you.
Right.
Just
It's
once
almost
you
like
let it out,
a medical doctor. You got to
right,
find someone that you connect with. So
girl.
that's the
Oh
same
yes.
thing with
Oh,
the
even yo,
therapist.
you know what? Let me ask you a quick question. Because
Mhm.
I ask this question to a lot of ladies, and also the ladies, if somebody's in the chat, do y'all prefer a male gynecologist or a female gynecologist?
Oh, girl, I've been having chats and I didn't even know. Um, Me personally, I have a female gynecologist. Back in the day when I was younger, my grandmother would say, "Oh, honey, make sure you get a male gynecologist, a male gynecologist." So that's all I would get. But as I got older, I was like, "No, I want female." So I have a female only because I feel as if they can understand my body better, and they actually when a male gynecologist, I'm looking at them cross-eyed now because
Yeah, yeah,
people
yeah. Me too.
people
I don't want
yeah,
no
I
male.
don't do that.
No, thank
Now
you.
look,
No, thank you at all. But yeah, but back
I
to the so yeah, like to just for women to, it's for, I try to get them to be confident like within themselves. Mind you, that takes, and if you really really um conservative and reserved, like that
mhm,
takes a course of the time. But I just give them, tell them just how beautiful they are, and just let them see themselves for as beautiful. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
Well, regardless of whatever, like all you are beautiful. God didn't make no mistakes with no one, right?
mhm,
So you have to
mhm,
know that like within yourself, because all this stuff comes internal. And what I would suggest is that they say affirmations to themselves. Also, and if you have a significant other, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, whatever you're dealing with,
Mhm.
and if they don't tell you and encourage you in that way, that you should have conversations with them, like, like, tell me that, do you think I look nice today? Or not asking somebody like, do you think I look fat or something, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, who cares? Like, hell, you like to eat, you eat. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's body isn't the same. You know what I'm saying? But just
Right.
hopefully that you have a conversation with them to tell them, like, yo, do I look nice today? Like, how do you how? Like, tell me, because you need to tell each other these things, and encourage and be gentle and kind, and all that other stuff. So we do
Now,
that, the visual stimulation, and real sex
okay.
talk, and the ESS was erotic sensual seductive. Now look, I have seen a lot of these girls who's really kicking off, who's teaching, like, teaching girls how to ride the D and all this sort of stuff. Let me tell y'all something about riding the D. I think that everybody woman know how to, like, to move their body, but once you get in the midst, honey, and he got you, it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? Like, once you get to that point, once he get you to the girl, all this, you ain't doing all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's in control. You know what I'm saying? And then I
Mhm.
find, but mind you, some men are different. A lot of men don't kind of like too much. I don't know. Like, for me, because I'm you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
They be like, nah, I guess them, but not. So,
Now let me ask you this. I didn't realize it because I was just talking all into the conversation myself. Um, we did have some comments that come through. Okay. And I want to ask you some of
okay.
these. Okay. And some people,
No,
some were just statements, of course,
okay.
but someone had text and they were saying that you've never been married. So
Okay.
how can you speak on being married and living happily ever after? So what would you say to that person?
What does that have to do with anything? Like, about, like, because I'm a human being, you know what I'm saying? And I have
Hmm.
experienced life regardless of me being married or not. And like I said, sweetheart, or young man, I've been asked 4 times. I'm just saying, and I just wasn't ready to be married. I don't think that you need to be married to understand a married situation. I have dealt with people who are married. You know what I'm saying? I have talked to people who are married, who have outside situations, and know people who are married that I have had conversations with. So it's not a personal thing, sweetheart. It's a life thing.
Okay, so your experiences make you qualify, not necessarily being connected in
Yeah,
that
you
way.
don't. Yeah,
So
and
so that's the thing. I get that, and I can see that. I mean, it's like going to college. You get a lot of book experience, but you don't really know how to use it until you get on the job.
yeah, and then also, like,
I
and
got
also
it.
going to college don't necessarily make you no millionaire. I know a lot of smart, well, y'all know I'm a
People
curse.
that are
I know
struggling.
a lot of people that were smart in high school, girl, who living like real, like, I don't know. They you know what I'm saying? They life is,
Mhm,
it
mhm.
is what it is. I ain't judging nobody, but I'm just saying. You know what I'm
And
saying? So
also,
knock it
some
off.
someone also said that they feel like white men seem to be obsessed with voluptuous women, like our,
Uh
and they just kind of keep it a little low key.
oh yes,
What
that's
you
that
think
now that
about that?
yeah, that now that's a whole fact. You know what, I be having, like, white men be trying to look, girl. Oh no, I don't think I can have sex with, like, a white man. I think because of my mindset, and then, I'm definitely a pro black woman, and just know, not to say that that person actually did what has happened in the past, and also what's happening currently,
Mhm.
and also just knowing the Caucasian mindset. The one thing I would say that I think from them, I don't think that, if it don't apply to you, just let that shit, let's just let it fly. I think that they operate like on devil time. You know what I'm saying? Just look at some of
Mhm.
the things that, not all of them, because mind you, I've had some Caucasians who saved my life, like on some
Mhm.
real, like, some serious stuff. But yeah, but I don't think that I could possibly, but I do see that a lot of Caucasians do be kind of like trying to, but just don't know how to move. But nah, I don't think that I
It's just
can.
because
Me
of the way
personally.
that society is.
Right.
It's okay with, our men a lot of times they don't mind stepping out, but then they kind of like it's a little behind the scene. But nowadays you see people that are just coming out and
You
they
know,
love who they love. It's
this
just
one
kind of
guy
one of them
said
things.
it. This one guy said it the best to me one time, and we was talking about that interracial dating, and
Mhm.
he said, yeah, like, he said, I believe that the white men probably want to like women. And he said, but they move forward with it. He said because they're guilty, and I was just a real
Oh,
profound
really?
statement. Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, that can make sense. But I don't think I ain't on
Hmm.
that type of time.
I never got that. I never got that though. I just feel like
You never got
a
what?
lot of things that they don't want to move. I think a lot of white men are interested in black women. I think nowadays they're a lot more forward about it, and it's just generational. I think that it's just things were taboo back in the day, and it's just certain the way they were raised. You know what I'm saying? But our men, it's like it was taboo with them interacting a lot with Caucasian women, but now they can. So now they just going ham. They all they always wanted to, and now they just are doing it.
Oh
And I
yeah,
think a lot of time as a black woman, a lot of times we are not. They don't deem us as pretty and that type of thing as their race is. And I think that's another thing. But today I think a lot of African American women, we feel pretty, we look pretty, and we know it's in our own right. We don't have to compare to no other race. Everyone has beautiful people in their race. I have no problem personally with any race. I treat people as individuals based on how that person treats me. I don't I love my people and I wouldn't want to be anything else. You understand what I'm saying? But I have Caucasian friends. I have the business that my husband's in. That's predominantly who patronize us, his business. And honestly, I just deal with people on an individual thing. I don't do just like, okay, I'm
as you
black
should.
and they are black. And because our people, I love us. Sometimes we be tripping, and
Oh
sometimes they
yeah,
be tripping. And I just think people be tripped. You know what I mean? So I just kind of judge people based on how they treat me, and that's just kind of how I do.
well
Now, when
yeah,
it comes to
I mean,
rights,
as you should.
you know,
But yeah, and well, first of all, they already know that we pretty. Like, what is you saying? Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying?
hmm
Because Caucasian women, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, not all of them, like,
and
well,
they're
we
pretty
are,
too.
black
They're
women
just
are the
different.
forefront of like style, swag, all that. Like, do y'all not be seeing all the stuff that be going on? Like, especially with style, like, yo, stop
But you
it.
know what?
Like,
I really think
stop.
that we are more cohesive than separate, really. I think, honestly, and this just kind of keeping it 100. I mean, I really think a lot of the differences and things that we see in each other were placed there, generational like. We're all really more alike than we are different people. We all love our children. We all want the best for our families. We all, you know, but deep down, the values and stuff that we were raised with are just different. And then I think that more separates us outside of just the color of our skin. That's just kind of how if you're a nice person, then you're a nice person. So, but we do have our own style and the way that we do our thing. So,
Oh, yeah.
you
And
know, we
everybody
are
try to,
we
and
are
a lot try to
yeah.
emulate
So we
it.
do have our own style. So that's
All
just
you gotta do,
that's a
all you
whole
gotta
nother
do is look
conversation.
around and see it. Like,
That's a whole nother
you
conversation.
know what I'm
Now,
saying?
now answer this for me before we get up out of here.
Okay.
Um, what would you tell someone that's interested in coming to your class, and then how would they find out more interested information about you, and where can they get your book and all that good stuff?
Can I type this in the chat? Oh well.
You
So
can
yeah.
send it to me after, and then I can post it
Oh, okay.
in the video.
Uh, well, my which is I did just type in the chat though. Which is seductive-art.com.
Hmm.
You can find out more about me there. But like
Hmm.
I said, like seductive art consists of like I focus on three specialized areas of sexual
Hmm.
enhancement, which is visual stimulation. We have real sex talk
Hmm.
and ESS, which is an erotic sensual seductive dance. I do women tapping into their femininity. I find that like sometimes like women be a little too hard, like just a little too hard, and you just don't know how to be a little softer. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And just how to move like gracefully. And another thing too is to teach women how to walk in heels. I find that a lot of women don't know the techniques of walking in heels, don't understand their shoe maintenance. I just recently saw someone who this person financially they up there, but I was looking at their shoe game. I was like, why are your shoes in my mind? Like,
Mhm.
Your heel done ran all the way down and you don't have a lift on your shoe. You know what I'm saying? But everybody, you know what you know. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely teach women that. It's just all about Black women coming together, us sharing our stories, our perspectives, and what makes my workshop so unique and different
Mhm.
is
Mhm.
that it's informative, it's interactive, and it's filled with like sexy fun. So, and it's just us coming together as a unit.
Now, before I forget, do you like say for instance, of course you're in New York area, but people come from all over. So how are they structured? How are your classes structured? Are you like in a group? Are you in a private room? You know, you do the private room thing. And so because people are shy when they're just learning how to do something like that. Or do you have different people like on the live? How do you do your structure your
Okay,
classes?
well, no, see, well, my workshop is it's a workshop, so we all we all come together, and like I said, there's three different segments. The first one is the visual stimulation, so I set it up like I have all different types of wigs, and I like to do it interactive. Sometimes I'll do it like with models, but I like to select somebody or somebody volunteer, and
Mhm.
I give them the clothes and they go try it on. And I ask them to do their best to try out to be submissive or domineering or
Mhm.
whatever the play may be, right? And then I coach them through it. So
Mhm.
we learn through that. So we're all together, and it's only women. There's no men there. It's just women.
Okay. Well, you look kind of perplexed when I ask you that. And the reason I ask you that is because a lot of things now are done via, the internet. So, so you have it where you can go in different rooms on different sites where you can set up different rooms and you can actually do a one-on-one class with someone that may want to pay for a one-on-one class because everyone can't come to New York.
Yeah,
So
that's
you
true too.
may
I
you
can
may
come
want
to
to
you.
take a right. So you can come like you here with me, and you're all the way in New York, and I'm in Georgia. So
Yeah.
that's something you may want to look into because there are people
Oh,
all over the world, so they
right,
can
right,
buy their own wigs, and you could tell them what items they're going to need, and then you say this is what we're going to do this day, and you can still charge for the class, and you can do like private sessions with someone that might be afraid, and not really afraid but nervous, and you
right,
can
right,
teach them one on one
all right.
via the internet. So that's
Oh,
why I ask you that.
oh,
Everything don't
okay.
have to because
Yeah,
it's a
I never
bit.
even thought about
I
that
know,
because
girl.
I find
Look,
that a lot of people don't really like.
people are shy and they can't
Yeah,
get to New York. So you
but
limiting
yeah.
yourself, honey. We gonna need you to. My sister says she thanked me for her husband. I connected my sister and her husband years ago.
Oh,
She was my first
oh, well,
connection,
nice.
and they've been married over
Oh,
30
nice.
years. So she said,
Oh,
"Thank you
great.
for my husband." Since I didn't even realize, look, you were sending messages, and guess what? My sister said she would try your class via Zoom.
Oh, okay. All right.
So look, that's a whole
Yeah,
another
I
audience.
gotta get that.
You got to look into that because you can
Yes,
get
yes, yes.
Zoom set up with that, and you have people that want to just like they do conferences and classes. People be in different states now.
Right, right, right.
They're not all
Right,
together.
right,
So that's an idea for you, right?
right, right. And thank you.
You're welcome, man. But anyway, we're gonna talk after. We finna get ready to wrap this on up. And I
Okay.
appreciate you for being here. And
Thank
I'm
you.
going to get Real's information and I'm gonna attach it to this particular interview. And you all can connect to her. She'll leave her information for you. So thank everyone for being here today. Real, you were a
Yes.
blast, honey.
Thank
And I
you. Thank
appreciate you being
you.
here and your
I appreciate
honesty.
you
Your
having me. Yeah, I
honesty was on
appreciate
point.
that. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everyone. And I'll be back a little later on today.